You're one of the worst attorney generals in our history and an instrument of Donald Trump's lawless authoritarian agenda, and I'm glad the American people are seeing who you are, how you act, and the lack of good values. Your cover-up of the Epstein files and your passion for protecting pedophiles and child traffickers, that alone is grounds for impeachment.
Pam Bondi was confronted with a tough criticism right in her face today. Democratic Congressman Jesús Chuy García of Illinois looked Pam Bondi straight in the eye. He never took his eyes off Bondi. Without asking any questions, he started speaking directly. He didn't even start a discussion, because Garcia wanted to tell the truth directly to Pam Bondi's face. Opening statement, 10 minutes, uninterrupted. Bondi initially responded comfortably to Garcia's words, but as the conversation progressed, she would become speechless. Every word from Garcia was an accusation. Every sentence was a judgment. Ms. Bondi, you came here to be the Attorney General, but let me tell you this, you will not bring justice. You will sell justice, just like you did in Florida. Bondi froze at the table after those words, because Garcia wouldn't stop. For 10 minutes, he would recount Bondi's entire career, all her past, all her corruptions to her face. Bondi would just listen to what was being said. Watch this video until the end, because in the next few minutes, you'll see a Congress member call her out right to her face, and how his 10-minute opening speech shook Bondi. What happened in Congress today was not just a hearing, it was a reprimand, a confrontation, and a moral reckoning. Jesús Chuy García, 69 years old, Illinois 4th District, Chicago. Born in Mexico, he immigrated at the age of 8, a prominent figure on the progressive wing, 40-plus years in politics. Known characteristic, he speaks to your face. He doesn't use diplomatic language. Today, he has a lot to say to Bondi, too. Bondi, 60, former Florida Attorney General, Trump's nominee for Attorney General. Garcia will not ask questions. He will give the opening speech. Bondi won't be able to respond. She will only listen. As it was just past 10 in the morning, the trial had just begun. The chair spoke from the podium. For opening statements, first, Congressman Garcia, 10 minutes. Garcia stood up. He turned on his microphone. He looked at Bondi. He fixed his gaze, and it began. Ms. Bondi. His voice is calm, clear, and resolute. I will not ask you questions today, because I don't need your answers. I don't want to listen to your lies. I will just tell you one thing. You cannot be the Minister of Justice. You shouldn't be. I will tell you the reason. Bondi wanted to speak after hearing this, but the chairman raised his hand. Opening speech. The Congressmember may proceed. Garcia continued. You served as a Florida prosecutor for 8 years, 2011-2019, and in those 8 years, you received 23 complaints about Jeffrey Epstein. 23 complaints, from women, girls, families. They all wrote to you, Epstein abused me, please help. 23 letters, 23 pleas, and what did you do? Nothing. You didn't open any investigation. Why? Bondi couldn't answer. Garcia answered. Let me tell you why. Because Trump was there. Donald Trump was Epstein's friend. They were going to parties together. They were seen together at Mar-a-Lago. And you knew, if you investigate Epstein, Trump's name will come up. And Trump was your donor. He had donated $5,000. So what did you do? You ignored 23 complaints. You abandoned 23 women, 23 girls, to protect Trump. Garcia raised his voice afterward. This is just the beginning, because she is not just one of the 23 complaints. For 17 of them, your team told you, Ms. Bondi, we must investigate. There is evidence. Witnesses are ready. Your team begged 17 times, and 17 times you said no. Why? Because you were Trump's man. You joined the Trump campaign in 2016. You defended Trump on Fox News. You became Trump's lawyer during the impeachment process. Always Trump. And those 23 victims, you forgot them. Because justice is not important to you. Trump is important to you. Bondi nodded as Garcia continued speaking. The FBI transferred 847 emails to you from the Epstein investigation, witness statements, party records, Trump documents. You haven't disclosed any of them to the public. Why? Because there is Trump's name. There is Mar-a-Lago, documents showing that Epstein brought girls to Trump's property. You hid them all. Political sensitivity, to protect Trump. Now I need to stop here, because Garcia hasn't said the hardest part yet. He will recount Bondi's moral decline. Bondi will only sit and listen to what is being said. If you have watched this video up to this point, please hit the like button. And write in the comments, do you think Garcia is telling the truth? Did Bondi leave 23 victims for Trump? Now Garcia will make the harshest accusation. Garcia's voice became even harsher. But do you know what the worst part is? You didn't just hide the files, you actively blocked the victims. In 2016, a victim, J.M., wrote you a letter. She said, "Miss Bondi, Epstein abused me when I was 16 years old. It lasted for 4 years. Please, I want justice." What did you do? Garcia showed the document. I will read to you from the Florida records. The response from your office to J.M.'s letter. Dear J.M., your complaint has been received. However, an investigation will not be opened on this matter, due to lack of evidence. Respectfully. Insufficient evidence? J.M. was abused for 4 years. There are witnesses, there are doctor's reports, there are messages, but you said insufficient evidence? Garcia got angry. Do you know what happened to J.M.? She continued with therapy. 10 years of therapy. She became estranged from her family. She lost her job. Her life was ruined. And you? You received $5,000 from Trump. You spoke on Fox News. You were nominated to be the Attorney General. Is this justice? Garcia slammed the table. No, this is not justice. This is corruption. This is moral decay. You were a prosecutor. Your job was to protect the victims, but you protected Trump. You took your money, you hid the files, you abandoned the victims. Garcia took a deep breath, because he was about to say the hardest part. And now you come here to become the Attorney General, America's highest justice office. What are you telling us? I will bring justice? I am impartial? I believe in the law? Lie. All lies. You weren't neutral in Florida. You were on Trump's side. And if you become Attorney General, you will still be on Trump's side. Garcia stood up. He raised his voice. I'm telling you this, Miss Bondi. You are not fit for this position. You are one of the worst attorney generals we have ever had. You are not morally fit for this position. There are 23 victims. They all expected justice from you. You abandoned them all. You didn't protect them. You preferred Trump for money, for a political future. Now you come here and say, I will bring justice? No, you sold justice. You sold it in Florida. You will sell it in Washington too. Garcia sat down, but he hadn't finished. He was going to say his last words. Miss Bondi, I come from Chicago, from the working class. I came to America when I was 8 years old. We had nothing, but there was justice. Whether you are rich or poor, justice is the same for everyone. I have been in politics for 40 years to uphold this belief. He looked at Bondi one last time. But you destroyed this faith. 23 victims asked you for justice, but you abandoned them for Trump. This is selling justice. You cannot be the minister of justice. Garcia sat down. My speech is over, but let the record show Jesús Garcia, Illinois 4th District, declares he will vote no on the confirmation of Pam Bondi as Attorney General. Because Miss Bondi has betrayed justice. She does not uphold it. If you have come here in this video, share it with your friends, because look at what Garcia did. 10 minutes, uninterrupted, right in Bondi's face, listing all the corruption. 23 victims, 17 proposals, 847 emails, JM story, the accusation of "you sold justice." Bondi couldn't respond. The hall was silent. Chair: Ms. Bondi, you have the right to respond. Bondi leaned into the microphone. But what was she going to say? Garcia had spoken for 10 minutes. Each of his claims was documented. 23 complaints, 17 team suggestions, 847 emails, JM's letter. Everything was real. So she didn't know what to say. Bondi spoke. Congressman Garcia, I served in Florida. Resources were limited. Garcia interjected. The sources were sufficient to give Trump 5,000, but it was insufficient for 23 victims. The president struck the gavel. Congressman Garcia, please. But the damage was done. Garcia had destroyed Bondi's career in 10 minutes. To her face. Headlines: Garcia scolded. You abandoned 23 victims. CNN: the harshest opening speech. MSNBC: moral decay has emerged. Don't forget to subscribe. Garcia will vote no, because the 10-minute speech laid out Bondi's past. Jesús Garcia scolded Pam Bondi to her face today. 10 uninterrupted minutes. 23 complaints, none of them were opened. 17 team proposals, all of them were rejected. 847 emails were hidden. $25,000 from Trump. JM wanted justice, but they said insufficient evidence. 4 years of abuse. 10 years of therapy. Garcia, you sold justice. You abandoned 23 victims. You preferred Trump. Bondi couldn't respond because everything was true. There was nothing to deny or defend. Garcia spoke from Chicago, from the working class, as someone who believes in justice. He told Bondi to her face about her moral collapse. He stated for the record, no vote. Justice was betrayed.